Hi everyone, this is Stanley, and in this video I'm going to show you how we can quickly connect to the IoT Hub on WISE-PaaS. So after we have logged into our management portal and we can find the IoT Hub service, which is implemented by RabbitMQ under the service instance list. So if we have subscribed to our IoT Hub service, we will then be able to examine the applications that are using this IoT Hub. And with that, we can also create different credential keys for our external applications to be able to access this IoT Hub service. So as you can see here, we have several keys created for other applications to connect to our IoT Hub through different credentials. And what this means is that for an application connecting to the IoT Hub using, for example, the first credential keys, all the transactions of the messages, those being published or subscribed to, the topics managed by and the accounts associated to the first credential keys will not be accessible to another application accessing the IoT Hub with another credential key. So this is how basically the message or the topics on our IoT Hub is separated for multi-tenant use cases. Okay, so here we can see that under the credential keys, we'll be able to find connection parameters for our applications, other applications not hosting on the WISE-PaaS to use to connect to the IoT Hub. And one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of users, they use the host name to try to connect to the IoT Hub. But this host name IP address here is for platform's internal network. What that means is that if I have another application running somewhere else, not on the platform, if I'm using this IP to try to connect to the IoT Hub, it will not work because it's not on the same network domain. So instead, we have to use this external host to connect to the IoT Hub. And under here, we can see different connection parameters that can be used according to the type of client or the software library that you are using. So we can see we have passwords, and also on our IoT Hub, we support multiple protocols. So for the different kind of protocols, the connection parameters might be a little bit different. So once again, you can find the correct connection parameters for management portal. Here we can see if I'm trying to use MNQP plus SSL, then the related connection parameters are here. And if I want to use MQTT, the associated connection parameters are here, including the password, port, and the username. Again, one thing to note is that please don't use the host IP here. Instead, for all external application communications, use the external host here, provided here. So I have a quick example in Node-RED. I have dragged in an MQTT node. And to connect to our IoT Hub, I have created a server. And inside the server configuration, we can see that I'm using that external host right here in the port. And for security, that's the username and password. I just filled in from using the information that I can get on management portal under this section. So I'm using the MQTT connection parameters, the username and the password. As you can see, that I'm not using SSL, I'm just using MQTT. And the rest, I just left it to the default. And coming back, after I have set up my broker, my broker destinations, I have specified a topic for this node to listen to. So it's IoT sense/training here. And the same thing, I have created a publish node. This is our subscribe node in this simple example. And for the publish node, it's the same. So basically, I'm using the same broker connection here, and publishing to the topic. So I can reconnect again to show that it flashes a little bit, but you can see that this node is successfully connected to our IoT hub using the connection parameters from one of our credential keys listed under our RabbitMQ service instance. Okay, so clear that. I can see that here. I'm just going to say, so our new example, and just say, hello web learners. Okay, so I'm just going to publish that again, clear. So again, we can see that I inject and my nodes are working perfectly. It's listening to the, it's subscribing to this topic and correctly receiving the messages I'm publishing to the same topic here. Okay, so this is fairly straightforward and simple to use our IoT Hub service on WISE-PaaS. And if you're writing your own program, then we have a document on our technical portal detailing how you could use our IoT Hub service with your code. So here under this IoT Hub section, first we have an overview, description of our service, what it is, and some important aspects that developers have to pay attention to when using our service. And here's talk about what I have just demoed, how you can get the connection parameters for your IoT Hub service. And also this is what you can get from the console line output. Here we have code examples for different programming languages. So for example, we can check our Node.js example here. And basically you can use, if you are trying to connect to the IoT Hub using your program, what you can do is your program can use any library to retrieve connection parameters from the environment variable, and it's very straightforward. So as you can see here for Node.js, it's just 3 lines of code. If your application is pushed onto WISE-PaaS and bind to the IoT Hub service, so for example, under our IoT Hub service list, we can see the applications that's binding to the service. Those highlighted in blue are bound to this IoT Hub service. And once this binding exists, then inside your program, you will be able to use to retrieve the IoT Hub connection parameters through an environment variable called vcap services, as shown inside our documentation. Okay, so I hope this simple video clears up some of the questions our developers usually have when trying to connect to our IoT hub. And if you have any more questions that wants to be answered, please check out our QA form, which you can find the link at the very bottom. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them inside our QA form, and our support developers will get to your questions as soon as possible. All right, thank you for viewing this video.